In the 4x1 relay, it's very important to think about where we're positioned in the lanes. Again, runner 1 and 3, they're going to be running tight on the inside of the curves, and then runners 2 and 4 are obviously in the center of the lane, kind of shading to the outside of the lane as we get closer to hand it off. So as we can see, Flash would be our leadoff man. He's on the inside of the lane here. We'd be coming around the turn. Paul is obviously going to be set up in his position, whatever position we're going to use to take off from, in the outside of the lane. And so when you see these guys coming down the track, there won't be any sort of an instance where they would run into each other. So Paul can throw his elbow high back. You can obviously see Flash punch it, and there wouldn't be any traffic with their feet at all. If Flash was here, Paul was reaching back, now Flash is reaching across his body, there might be some traffic with their legs tying up with each other. So we'll have Flash always be on the inside, and then Paul on the outside. So if we're going from runner 2 to runner 3, we're going to be going into the turn. Flash would be running down the backstretch. Paul would be set up on the inside of the lane in his position. Now Flash is passing it from his left hand to Paul's right hand as he takes the baton around the turn. So it's going to be important to make sure that each runner knows this. We can kind of test the athletes to say, hey, if you're the third runner, what hand are you receiving it in? Do we keep it in our hand the entire time? How are we going to hand it off to the next person? They should all kind of know this because, again, the bigger meet you go to, the less time you're going to have with them warming up on the track. So incoming runner, outgoing runner positions is very important in the 4x1. The 4x2, we're most likely always going to be carrying it in our right hand and passing off into the outgoing runner's left hand. So again, in that instance, Flash would come back in, Paul would go back out. No matter how we're going to pass in the 4x2, we're usually always going to grab it in our left, change it right over to our right, just because we're always going to be getting the handoff going into a turn. So that's just kind of the differences between the 4x1 and 4x2, but ultimately lane positioning is going to be very important.